Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and I just kind of wanted to address the rumors going around about David Tennant coming back to Doctor Who and possibly being the 14th Doctor. I have heard these rumors, and that he might only stay for like 3 specials before he leaves, and then the 15th Doctor would come in and take over for Series 14. I have heard them. Of course, it was a rumor that popped up somewhere and it spread like wildfire because, of course, it's David Tennant, so of course it's going to spread like wildfire, the possibility of David Tennant coming back. I've had a couple people asking me about it in comments. I've seen other people doing videos on it. Quite frankly, I think it's a stupid idea. I don't like it at all. It's Doctor Who. It's really hard to explain this. Doctor Who, that would really be a sign to me that the BBC knows Doctor Who is failing. When a doctor has to regenerate into an actor who's previously played the character, which, don't get me wrong, there is a precedent for that. The curator mentions that he could revisit old faces. I get that. And I love it for things like cameos, like multi-doctor stories, or the curator in Doctor Who. That works for stuff like that. But not only bringing Tennant back, because he just couldn't act like the 10th Doctor. I mean, if he's a different Doctor, he needs to act like a different Doctor. And 2, just bringing him back for like 3 stories, it seems silly and foolhardy. Because just as we start to connect with him, he's going to be gone. It's like, yay, we get more of Tennant. Oh, he's gone. It'd be like that episode of South Park, and it's gone. I just put $1,000, yes, and it's gone. And it does feel kind of like the snake eating its own tail, like it's cutting its nose off to spite its face. I can see that in the short term, if they're trying to get viewership numbers up, because everybody's going to be like, David Tennant, oh, where's my towel? Where's my handkerchiefs? And all of that. But the problem is, as soon as he's gone, they're going to be like, oh, Tennant's gone again. Who did they cast to take his place? I was already worried when Russell was announced, but not too worried because I like Russell, and I don't think bringing a previous showrunner back could be a bad thing. Although, knowing that they're assembling so much of the old team, like bringing Julia back and they just announced they're bringing Philip back, and now the possibility of Tennant coming back, it's almost like the BBC's like, hey, did you love 2008? Remember how great Doctor Who was in 2008? 2008 was such a big year for us. Don't you just love it? Guess what? It's 2008 again. It's 2008, and Doctor Who is great. La 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 la. That's what they're trying to do, but it's not 2008. It's 2022, and we need to live in 2022. And while I don't think it's wrong for Doctor Who to look to the past, trust me, most of the writers of the modern Doctor Who series, I want to be like, look, I'm going to need you to go look up a guy named Bob Holmes. It's very important that you look at some of his work, and actually go back and look at some of those stories from the 70s and realize the writing is what made them so good. Don't get me wrong, they need to study that. But Doctor Who does need to evolve, but at the same time stay true to its roots. It's really hard to explain, and it's really hard, to be honest, for a showrunner to find that balance. Because Doctor Who is a show that's fundamentally about change. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of issues with stuff the Whittaker era has done, with Timeless Children and Series 11 sucking. But Prowl, you just said the show needs to evolve. Yes, I did, but I didn't say it needed to evolve into shit. There's a difference between evolving into shit and just evolving. It needs to evolve while still maintaining a consistent level of awesomeness, which Doctor Who has had on and off throughout its history. And I just don't think this is the way to do it. I think it's too much looking back. I think it's trying to bump the numbers. If this is true, which I don't think it is, I'm going to be quite frank. I hope it's not. If this is true, I think the closest we'll get to Tennant coming back would be for the 60th as the 10th Doctor, showing back up in a multi-Doctor story as the 10th Doctor for the 60th. If he comes back, it would be for that. But if it does, I think that's the closest the BBC would come to acknowledging the show is failing. And I know a lot of people are like, well, no, can't say it's failing. The show is doing, I don't want to hear it. Well, it's number 2 overnight and Sunday nights. Who watches TV on Sunday nights? Where would it be if it was on Saturday night still? Well, you can't go by the viewing numbers. Oh, my God. well, the viewing numbers don't mean anything. Look, yes, they do. I mean, I don't honestly know, but in my humble subjective opinion, yes, they do. People who want to watch Doctor Who will watch Doctor Who. I've seen 12 million people watch Doctor Who. I mean, I wasn't there when it happens before I was born, but it happened. Well, that's because ITV. Well, obviously, they still didn't mind watching Doctor Who because they watched Doctor Who. People who want to watch Doctor Who are going to watch Doctor Who. If only 3 million people watch Doctor Who, that's because only 3 million people wanted to watch Doctor Who. 12 million people watch Doctor Who. It's because 12 million people wanted to watch Doctor Who. This isn't rocket science. It's common sense. Which I shouldn't have to explain to people. I seem to be in a mood tonight. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I think this idea is so stupid. This is just dumb. I mean, I like David Tennant. I would love to have him come back. And I'm not saying it can't be done well. Don't get me wrong. Russell is talented. I firmly believe that there is a possibility he could pull this off. Don't get me wrong. I like David Tennant a lot. He's one of my favorite actors, even though his doctor's kind of in the middle for me these days. He was my strong number 2 for a long time. Russell's a talented writer. He did a lot of, I love his era. He did a lot of great things for the show. And it's possible he could pull it off. And that it could get the fans back into the series. And that might be what they're trying to do. Just get the fans excited. We need the 60th to sell so we can keep marketing Doctor Who. Get David Tennant back in as the next Doctor. Well, David's very busy and expensive. Well, let's just get him for like 3 specials. Then we'll bring in a 15th Doctor. That'll, you know. That's how I feel about this whole thing. That actually sums up my feelings on it. I'm not saying it can't be done well. I'm just saying, why does it need to be done? Other than getting people excited, trying to get numbers back up. Hey, let's market the 60th. We got David Tennant as the 14th Doctor. Give us those 10 million viewers again. And then they can all point and go, see, Doctor Who's doing well, doing well, doing well. And then, of course, they'll bring in a 15th Doctor, and we'll see where the numbers go from there. But I don't want to introduce a new Doctor just to only get 3 stories with them, and then them be gone, and we have to get used to another Doctor. I don't want that. I don't like adjusting to a Doctor. I mean, think about with Eccleston. You just get used to Eccleston as the Doctor, and you really start to get a feel for him, and he's gone. And we always want more Eccleston. Now imagine if you'd only had 3 stories with Eccleston and that happened. So I don't like the idea. That's my thoughts on it. I think it's a stupid idea. I don't like it. I don't think it's actually going to happen anyway, but I wanted to share my thoughts on it. Those are my thoughts on it. So what do you think about this leaked news? I would like to know what you guys think. I always enjoy hearing your opinions, so comment down below and let me know. I want to give a special shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, the 5th Doctor and Stephen Crane. I really appreciate their support, just as I appreciate the support of all of my patrons and all of my subscribers as well. Speaking of that, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the like button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. My goal is to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers, and we are well on our way to that. Thank you very much to everyone who's subscribed. I do have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description below, which gets you access to bonus videos, polls to vote in, behind the scenes stuff like that. If there's anything there that interests you. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me. I like doing unboxing videos and review videos and all that stuff. That'll be fun. Got my first piece of fan mail the other day from one of my subscribers, Steve Knievel. He bought me the special edition of the Aztecs. I really appreciate that. So my P.O. box is down there if you want to send me anything. I also have a link to my Amazon wish list there as well if you want to check that out. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.